You always said it was just hair, but lately, it hasn't felt like just anything. You've stood in front of the mirror, bottle in hand, asking yourself if this ritual still makes sense. Not because you're giving up, but because somewhere deep down, it no longer feels like you. That soft ache right beneath the question, is it still me or just something I kept doing? And maybe today you didn't reach for the dye. Maybe for the first time in decades, you let the roots show and didn't rush to cover them. Maybe, just maybe, you're wondering what would happen if you stopped. This is where it begins, not with a loud declaration, but with a quiet shift inside, where one voice asks, "Who am I without all the covering up?" And the other finally answers, "You," just more clearly. This video is for that conversation, for the tug-of-war between old habits and new truths, for the woman who stopped dyeing her hair at 62 and discovered more than she expected. Not a reinvention, not a rebellion, but a return. You'll hear the thoughts you've been carrying, the doubts you've tucked away, and maybe, just maybe, the voice that's been waiting patiently beneath them. If this kind of space feels familiar, like this video, share it with someone who might need it, and subscribe to Glow After 60. Comment 1 if this resonates, or 0 if your inner voice has been saying something else. We grow stronger when we grow quietly together. Let's begin with one quiet question, the one that's lingered the longest, even if you've never said it aloud. Part 1, the question you never meant to ask. You didn't mean to make it a big deal. I know, but it still felt like one, didn't it? Just standing there holding the dye like always. But this time, your hand didn't move. And it wasn't about the color. Not really. So why did I pause? Because something in you was ready. Even if you didn't have the words for it yet. It wasn't rebellion. It wasn't a statement. It was something quieter than that. Something more honest. Am I still allowed to change, even now? You're not asking for permission. You're offering yourself something you never had time to receive. There's this unspoken belief that once you're a certain age, the world stops expecting transformation. But maybe you're just now beginning one. And no one needed to know. No big reveal. No camera-ready moment. Just you, in your bathroom, finally listening. What if I don't like what grows in? Then you'll meet it kindly. Because it's not just gray, it's every season you survived. And suddenly, you weren't just deciding about hair. You were deciding what you no longer owed. I've kept things going for everyone. I've made sure I looked the part. But what if looking the part is what's kept you from feeling whole? You've done what was expected for years. Now, what's wanted? The bottle didn't move. Your hand softened. And that silence felt like space, not absence. Picture it, the morning light just beginning to cross the mirror. And for once, you didn't flinch at your reflection. Let's stay in that stillness for a moment, before we gently step into what came next. Part 2, when the roots show, and so does the truth. The first time the gray really showed, I looked away. Not because it was wrong, but because it was unfamiliar. You had memorized your look for years. The shade, the style, the timing. It was part of how you stayed held together, even when everything else felt uncertain. I thought I needed it to look alive. But were you actually hiding the parts of you that already were? There's this moment, quiet but sharp, when the mirror doesn't reflect who you used to be. And instead of rushing to fix it, you pause. Does this make me look older? No. It makes you look like someone who's stopped apologizing. And that's something no color could ever give you. People noticed, of course. A comment here, a side glance there. Even kindness sometimes comes with surprise. Oh, you're letting it grow out? Yes, I'm letting myself be seen. It wasn't always comfortable. The in-between never is. Not quite before, not fully after. I felt exposed. You felt honest. Because when the dye fades, so do the parts of you that were performing. And what's left? Something simpler, something stronger. Will I ever feel fully comfortable in this new look? You will. But not because it's perfect, because it's yours. And maybe for the first time, you're not trying to rewind. You're just standing still and letting yourself be recognized. Visualize it, a soft curl of silver at your temple, catching the light. Not hidden, not fixed, just free. Let's keep going, because the next shift might be the most surprising of all. Part 3. So, now what do I do with this hair? Well, now that I've stopped dyeing, what am I supposed to do with it? Oh, you mean your actual hair? The one that grows on your head? There it is, your new natural look. And guess what? It has no idea what to do with itself either. It's fluffier in weird places, flat in others. Welcome to freedom. It doesn't come with instructions. You've traded the schedule for softness, the chemicals for curiosity. But now you're standing in the bathroom with a hairbrush in one hand and absolutely no clue what this new you needs. I miss the neatness, the control. You also used to think beige lipstick worked. We evolve. It's not that you don't care how you look. You do, but the pressure's shifted. I'm not sure if it's stylish or just a science experiment. It's both, and that's kind of the fun. One day it parts on the left. The next, it looks like it made its own decisions overnight. Some mornings, you might feel like a silver fox. Other mornings, it's more silver raccoon. And yet, you're still showing up, still brushing it, still deciding not to reach for the bottle again. I didn't think hair would make me feel brave. That's because you forgot that letting go is brave. So you laugh, you pin it up, you try a scarf, you flirt with mousse for the first time in a decade. And somewhere in the middle of all that experimenting, you start seeing something beautiful. Not perfect, not polished, but real. What if I never master this new look? Then you'll be the woman who doesn't need to master anything to be magnetic. Picture it, your reflection, grinning with one eyebrow raised as your hair does exactly what it wants, and you let it. Let's keep going, because the next part isn't about hair at all. It's about who you become when you stop hiding behind it. Part 4. When you stop covering, what else shows up? I thought this was just about hair. It never is. You stopped dyeing, but somehow other things started surfacing too. Memories, old habits, little ways you've been trying to stay acceptable for years. I didn't realize how much I'd been managing other people's comfort until you finally gave some back to yourself. That first dinner with friends, you wondered if they'd say anything. They didn't. But you felt the difference anyway. You weren't maintaining the mask anymore. I used to think looking put together was the same as being okay. And now I want to feel okay, even if I look a little undone. Something strange happens when you stop coloring your hair. You start uncovering yourself. Not just the roots, but the resilience. The woman who kept showing up without applause, without pause, just because that's what was needed. I always felt invisible in rooms full of people. Maybe because parts of you weren't even invited. Now they are. The softer voice. The one that doesn't have to please or prove. The one that doesn't say, "I'm fine," when she isn't. Am I allowed to bring all of me, even the unpolished parts? That's the only version the world really needs. And here's the surprise. You don't lose anything by letting go of the image. You gain something. You gain presence and peace and power that's quiet but unwavering. Visualize it. You at your kitchen table, morning sun on your shoulder, no makeup, hair soft and wild, reading a book that makes you smile, with no one watching. Let's pause here, because the final reflection is the one most women never say out loud, but always feel. You didn't change, you returned. So, was it just about hair after all? No, it was about truth. And truth just happened to grow in silver. You didn't become someone new. You just stopped hiding the one you already were. And maybe that's what surprised you most. Not how others reacted, but how you felt. Lighter, quieter, more yourself. I used to think acceptance looked like giving up, but sometimes it just looks like coming home. You began this journey with a pause, a question, a small act of rebellion wrapped in softness, and somewhere between the roots growing in and the need to explain fading out, you discovered something no salon could give you. Peace. Not the passive kind, the quiet power kind, the kind that doesn't ask for approval, that just is. Did I really need to dye my hair all those years? Maybe. And now? Now you get to decide from a different place. Not fear, not pressure, just presence. And no, you don't have to have it all figured out. You just have to listen, because the most honest version of you, she was never gone. She was just waiting for space. So, what stays with you from this? What surprised you? Not on the outside, but inside? Leave a quiet thought in the comments. We read them all, and we honor them deeply. And remember, this isn't about changing who you are. It's about hearing what's always been true. Thank you for being here with Glow After 60.